Being Agile. The purpose of this article is to provide a clear description of the term being agile, which is also referred to as an agile mindset. To give greater context to the term, we cover the following. Importance of turning failure into a learning opportunity. Provide an introduction to a fixed mindset. Explain what the phrase growth mindset means. Explain how organizations develop a growth mindset. Reflect on innovation in your own organization. Review a few public failures. Turning failure into a learning opportunity. Let's first take a moment to reflect on the wise words of one of history's great inventors. I have not failed, I found 10,000 ways that won't work. Being agile and doing agile are terms sometimes used interchangeably. We therefore recommend you review the article titled Doing Agile, following this one for clarity. Fixed mindset. Traditional organizations are considered to have a fixed mindset. This is demonstrated by how they initially respond to a challenging situation, for example, missing a sales target. The initial response of a team with a fixed mindset. Their primary focus is on damage control. Their immediate response is to control the message by limiting the number of people aware of the issue. They invest precious time investigating the cost rather than dealing with the issue. They seek to identify what went wrong in an attempt to appoint blame before all the facts are known. They spend the initial period trying to course correct before calling upon others for assistance. Due to the potential repercussions of failure, individuals are very nervous about taking risk and subsequently only embark on tasks having received full detailed instructions and guarantees from their line managers. Such a command and control environment is typical of organizations that are highly political with a rigid decision-making structure, inwardly focused on optimization and cost saving. Avoid challenges by focusing on repeating rather than creating. Lacks creativity with no minimum levels of investment. Demonstrates high levels of arrogance and excessive pride. Change to survive. More and more organizations are realizing that to remain competitive in an increasingly complex, constantly changing, globalized and fierce competitive landscape, they must change. Growth mindset. When organizations with a growth mindset face a similar challenge, missing a sales target, they immediately focus their energy on increasing their understanding of the impacts and how they can reduce the likelihood of the issue being repeated. Therefore, teams with a growth mindset shows traits of an agile mindset that focus their energy on understanding what were the causes, discovering how best to respond, identify any changes, capture and share any learning, outward and forward-looking, process and effort-focused. Organizations that demonstrate a high level of growth have established a servant leadership model that empowers their employees to take decisions. They are external, forward-looking to find the next solution or opportunity. Tackles challenges head-on and relishes them. Encourages creativity through defined programs and investment targets. Fears competition and not being the market leader. Promoting a growth mindset. As you study more of the material on the topic of creating an agile organization, you'll discover that there are many factors that drive the creation and promotion of a growth mindset. Let's take a closer look at some of the key ones. Fixed implementation period. Create a psychological safety net, which minimizes the overall risk through the adoption of fixed implementation periods. These short periods of doing, i.e. iterations, confine the risk to a short period. And should the work product be incorrect, the team only needs to roll back one iteration. Regular retrospectives. Creating trust amongst the team will ensure valuable self-reflection and discovery, which is the surest way for the team to improve. Commitment to short-term goals. Don't get fixated on the mammoth challenge in front of them. Break a complex task down into small focused pieces of value. Work on the highest value first and minimize the amount of work in progress. Motivated and empowered teams. These emerge from an increased sense of self-organizing, fueled by co-creating, co-ownership, co-location, and the reassurance their manager have defined the what and set clear and achievable goals, which enable the team to define the how. Empowered cross-functional teams. Ensure the team has the know-how to decide how to execute, having formed a single team with complete end-to-end responsibility. This approach fuels knowledge sharing and maximizes perspectives and opinions. Customer line of sight. Develop team engagement and an increased sense of ownership by enabling everyone to engage with the customer and gain sight of the true value being created. A reflection of failure. At this point, we recommend you take a few moments to consider how your own organization responded in recent times to failure. Consider whether the risk of failure puts your employees off tackling some long-standing issues. Can you identify what mechanisms have been established to ensure nothing ever fails? Can you recall what happened to the individuals or teams that failed on a big scale? Are they still with your organization? Can you think of any actions your organization should consider implementing to promote creativity and more risk-taking? Why do you think the traditional organizations, like the ones we have described earlier, have a very negative view of failure, however small? Can you add 4 more products or services to the following list? Then think about whether the failure of these products or services led to the organization's failure. We recommend you now take time to focus on the follow-on topic of doing Agile. Thank you for listening.